Hello, my amazing artists. Today we're going to create a three-dimensional flower vase. We're going to focus on using different patterns. So you have already learned in your class an AB pattern and an ABBA pattern. We also have learned in art different patterns we can create with line. What we're going to need is a sheet of paper. You'll need some markers or crayons, and towards the end you will need scissors, tape, or glue. To get started, you need one piece of paper. If you don't have white paper at home, that's okay. Just make sure that the paper that you use is bendable. So cardboard probably isn't the best for this one. I want you to have your paper horizontal, long ways. You have two options. You can fold a piece of the top of your paper down, or you can draw a line through it. Now notice I didn't tell you how far to fold it or to draw the line. That's up to you. Depending how far you fold it is going to determine the size of your vase. So if you want a short vase, you could fold your paper completely in half. That's up to you. Next, you're going to create different patterns. We're going to ignore the top part up here where we drew our line. We're not going to draw anything on that right now. You're going to use your markers or crayons and create different patterns below. So these are the patterns I used, and in a second you'll see me creating this in high speed. Next, we're going to use scissors, glue, or tape to create a three-dimensional vase, what you'll need to do first is take your scissors and cut the horizontal line where you used the green marker and yellow markers or crayons to draw the top part. You're going to cut that off. This is going to be our vase that we're going to use in a minute. You're then going to cut long horizontal pieces of paper with your green like this. These are going to end up being your flower stems. If we cut them vertical like this, your flower stems would be too short. So make sure you cut a long horizontal cut. So we'll do this one. Depending on how much paper you had to color the green part, it'll depend on how many flower stems you'll have. All right, so we're going to bring back our flat piece of paper that you created all the different patterns on. Turn it over. You can use glue or tape at this point. And you're going to glue or tape your flower stems to the back part of your paper. Now right now they're all the same size. If you want, you could cut some of them just to make some of them taller and shorter. I'm gonna do that. So if you have glue, just take the top off, roll the glue stick up. We're gonna draw a vertical glue line. Put your green piece of paper on it. Notice I turned my green paper upside down so that when I turn it over, all the colored parts are on the same side. Now, if you do not have glue and you have tape, you can do the same thing. I'm going to cut this one to make it a little shorter to have variety in my flowers. That means some short, some small, some's tall, some of them's thick, and some of them's thin. And you're going to glue or tape all of these down. All right, I have all my flower stems glued down. Next, I'm going to turn it over. And at the top part of our flower stems, I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. Stick a flower. Same thing, if you do not have glue, you could use tape for this. I'm putting glue on the back of the flower, or you could put glue on the flower stem like that. It's up to you. I would hold it and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to make sure it's on there real good. And since I'm trying to do this real quick, I'm not holding it to 5, so some of mine may come off and I'll have to glue them back on in a little bit. Now, I created a lot of flowers. If you created a lot of flowers as well, you could flip it over and you could glue flowers on the back as well, because some of these flowers are going to sag or droop when you put it together. So right now we have a flat piece of paper. It looks like maybe a flower bed with flowers growing out of it, but we want to turn this into a three-dimensional piece of artwork. So what you're going to do is pick your paper up carefully. You're going to wrap or roll your paper and create a cylinder shape. So just like this. From here, you can take some glue. Put a nice glue line there. Glue there. Flip it over and count. I like to put my hand inside of the cylinder and hold it and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if you don't have glue at home and you have tape, you could take the piece of tape and put it at the seam right here, and it would hold it as well. But you now have a 3-dimensional flower vase that you created. And you can see what's nice is this one where I put a flower on the back. No matter which way you turn it, you always see a flower on that one. So that might be nice to do if you have the time. Have fun. I hope you enjoyed creating your 3-dimensional flower vase using different patterns. Remember the difference between a 3-dimensional object and a piece of paper that we had originally. The paper is flat. 3-dimensional means that you can walk around the object. Have fun. I hope you enjoy this lesson.